What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope everybody's doing well out there on this beautiful Sunday. I'm doing real good myself. I want to say a couple things before we get into this story about trusting, black people that do the bidding of the enemy. Back in the day, Malcolm X said not to trust black celebrities as leaders of the black community, simply because he knew that they were, compromised, and they were sent to infiltrate, the black community. The second thing, during the Tuskegee experiment, where a lot of our people were infected with syphilis, back in that, time and era, it wasn't everybody that was white that was administering those vaccines, that syphilis to those people. You know what I mean? It was also black people that were actually, from what I hear, administering that, those shots. You see? Now, this is even more proven to me that this situation with taking the COVID-19 vaccination and all that is definitely an agenda, okay? Because now, Fauci wants people to know that one of the lead scientists who developed the COVID-19 vaccine is a black woman. And I'll add to that, so what? Okay? That's the way you have to look at this, man, because as we know, we've been, sold down the river so many times, but by that of which we call our own. They have sold us out. And that's just all there is to it. Now to get into the story right here, in this picture, we're going to go through this. Dr. Anthony Fauci left here. And Kizzy Corbett. Wait till y'all find out what her nickname is. Right. This is the woman right here that developed this vaccination. We already know who this is right here. Now, to get into this story, Dr. Anthony Fauci is urging black Americans hesitant to take the COVID-19 vaccine to trust the process, in part because of the scientist at the forefront of the vaccine development is a black woman. Again, I'm adding, so what? Okay. Now to continue, the nation's top infectious disease expert, speaking at an event hosted by the National Urban League on Tuesday, said it was important to acknowledge the U.S. history of racism in medical research and understand how that has fostered mistrust among some black people. Some is right, because, there's a lot of black people that happens to trust, what the enemy says. And a lot of black people are going to take this vaccination, I have some relatives that I do believe are going to give in to taking this vaccination. And when they do, I'm just going to sit back and watch what happens to them. You know what I mean? Because these are some people right here, I'm telling you, brick-headed as fuck, and they do not listen. And it's only reason why they're that way is because it goes back to the scripture where the Most High says in his word that fools despise wisdom and instruction. Especially when it's coming from somebody that they're in competition with. You see what I mean? But be that as it is, I digress. Back to the story. But Fauci stressed that the upcoming COVID-19 vaccine are safe and effective, adding that African-American scientists have been involved in their development. Again, a third time. This time, so fucking what? You see what I mean? They keep adding that shit as if that's going to make, a difference. Now, the very vaccine that's one of the two that has absolutely exquisite levels of 94 to 95% efficacy against clinical disease and almost 100% efficacy against serious disease that are shown to be clearly safe. That vaccine has actually developed in my institute's Vaccine Research Center by a team of scientists led by Dr. Barney Graham and his close colleague, Dr. Kizzy Corbett. Or, this is her nickname, here it is, Kizzy. Kizzy Corbett, okay? Fauci said. Now, for those of y'all that has not watched Alec Haley's Roots, check it out. You will find who Kizzy was, okay? Enough said. Corbett is the National Institute of Health's lead scientist for coronavirus vaccine research. She is part of a team that worked with the biotechnology company Moderna on one of the 2 mRNA vaccines expected to receive emergency use authorization from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration this month. Okay, Pfizer's vaccines candidate is the other one. Okay, I don't particularly care which one it is. You know, that's a no for me because, you know, I just did a video, you know, about Australia actually scrapping the project because they was 2 participants. Well, I don't know if it was 2, it was more, but some participants was found to test positive for HIV, and turns out to be they got a HIV what do you call that, particle that's in that shit. So ain't no telling what's in this particular vaccine as well. You see what I'm saying? All kinds of red flags that say, no, I'm not taking that shit. You know, but to continue, so the first thing you want to say to my African American brothers and sisters is that the vaccine that you're going to be taking was developed by an African American woman, Fauci added, and that is just a fact. Okay, experts are trying to build confidence. Fuck your confidence. I don't need your confidence. You know, I got smarts. It continues here. Black Americans and other people of color have been disproportionately affected by COVID-19, increasing the urgency among health experts and community leaders to build confidence and trust in the vaccine. But skepticism among some people of color, especially Black Americans, remain high. And I'm going to go on to say this. That's because we know you are fucking liars. You didn't start saying that Black people are disproportionately more effective in catching this shit that y'all call COVID-19 until Black people started saying, well, white people get it more and Asian people get it more. Because that's when they were saying that it was actually coming out of Asia. Number one. And, you know, white people was dropping like flies, you know, like just last year. Then y'all flipped the narrative. You see what I mean? You pointed at us and you told a lie then. I'm not saying that some Black people are not dying from COVID-19, because the country singer, Black country singer, Charlie Pride, they say he just passed away from it, you know. Then it was a lady that played in Green Sugar. She was 76 years old. She just passed away from it, so they say, okay? But here's my rebuttal to Black people, you know, this, you know, affecting Black people disproportionately, as they so claim, which I know is a lie. I simply get the obituary section of the newspaper, wherever I'm at here, where I live. And all I ever see is still white people dying at a higher rate than Black people. I'm telling you, you look in the obituary section where you live, in the newspaper or what have you, and you see more white people than in that section, you know, in that obituary section, than you see Black people. And I'm talking about, you may see one Black person versus 5 to 7, sometimes 10 white people. So this is how I know, with common sense, that they ain't doing nothing but lying about this shit affecting, you know, disproportionately affecting Black people. This shit is an agenda, basically, for Black people to get this you get this vaccine. Yeah, you're gonna have some problems from there, for real. Then, you know, definitely. Now back to this article right here. A study released by the COVID collaborative, the NAACP, U.S. found that only 14% of Black Americans trust that a vaccine will be safe, and 18% trust it will be effective. Their concerns stem largely from a history of racism in medical research and healthcare that includes incidents like the Tuskegee syphilis experiment. All right, the study found. Of course, we got histories back then. You used Black people for guinea pigs. You did all kinds of medical crimes. I'm going to just call it that, to Black people. Why all of a sudden will we trust you when you tell us that this vaccine is, safe? You don't even give a damn or care enough to even stop these animalistic ass police officers that like to fucking shoot people, murder Black people, shoot them in the back and lie and say they mistake a sandwich for a gun. So why should we trust you about fucking taking a vaccine? See, the problem is with the enemy is they lack common sense, man. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? But to continue here, Corbett told CNN's Dr. Sanjay Gupta that she sees vaccine hesitancy in Black communities firsthand. Rebuilding trust in medical institutions will take time, she said, and that's something that health experts have to accept. I would say to people who are who are vaccine hesitant, that you've earned the right to ask the questions that you have around these vaccines and the vaccine development process, she says in an episode of the CNN podcast, Coronavirus, Fact versus Fiction. All right. Now, it goes in, on to say right here about this vaccine warrior, Kizzy Corbett, a.k.a. Kizzy, talking about what she is. It says, Kizzy Corbett is a 34-year-old viral immunologist, and she might help save the world. She leads the coronavirus vaccine research at the National Institute of Health, and the mRNA vaccine they've developed in collaboration with Moderna, all right, has reported an astounding 94.5% efficacy, whatever that is. Having a hard time pronouncing it. CNN chief medical correspondent Dr. Sanjay Gupta talks to Corbett about her. I don't particularly care about what they say about, just because they got Kizzy to develop the vaccine. I still don't trust it. I still don't trust it. Now, to continue, for her part, Corbett said she is trying to help earn back that trust. All right. She has been outspoken on the role systematic racism has played in the pandemic and has criticized the Trump administration for a lack of diversity on its coronavirus task force. Trust, especially when it has been stripped from people, has to be rebuilt in a brick-by-brick fashion, she said. And so what I say to people firstly is that I empathize. And then secondly is that I'm going to do my part in laying those bricks. And I think that if everyone on our side as physicians and scientists went about it that way, then the trust would start to be rebuilt. Bullshit. You would never rebuild a trust after thousands of years. I'm going to say hundreds of years of the things and atrocities and crimes that's been, committed against Black people by the hands of doctors. All right. Way back in the 50s, 60s, they were snatching Black women off of the street, taking away their ability to even reproduce children. You see what I mean? Doing shit like that, and they still doing all kinds of medical atrocities and crimes to Black people. You see, And they know it. And I'm going to tell you this too. This is what I believe. This shot is just another one. It's just another one. They need black people to actually go with this thing. You know what I'm saying? They need you to, they need you to do it. See, they need you to do it. But no, fuck this shit. Nope, you can't. You can't. But to continue here, Fauci is taking a similar approach. He said he generally hears two major concerns about the vaccine: the speed at which they were developed and their safety and efficacy. Though vaccines have traditionally taken years or even decades to develop, advancements in the vaccine platform technology have significantly shortened that process without compromising safety or scientific integrity, Fauci said. That's another lie. Y'all ain't fooling me. Y'all had this shit. This shit has been on the back burner for a long time. Probably since 2010 or something, 2008. Y'all knew this was coming, But to continue right here, he also addressed concerns that pharmaceutical companies of the federal government couldn't be trusted to assess the safety of the vaccine, saying that both are advised by independent committee made up of experienced clinicians, scientists and ethicists. Y'all excuse me. The independent expert, not politician, determined whether the vaccine is safe for the public, he added. And in conclusion, he says here, when they then say that the vaccine is safe and effective, I would tell all that I myself will be perfectly comfortable in taking the vaccine, and I will recommend it to my family, Fauci said. More lies. More lies. Like I said, y'all can put Kizzy up, as a forefront to represent this vaccine all you want. I am not taking it. I don't need it. Why? Take this shit. Something, going to be worse that's wrong. It's going to be more worse that's wrong with you than a cold shit that you possibly can get over. You know what I'm saying? This is messed up. So this is the reason why I quoted Malcolm X when he was talking about trusting, celebrities or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because, oftentimes we hear anytime, okay, the first black this, the first black that, okay? That's a lie too, because there's nothing new under the sun. There were black doctors long before the enemy even came along. These are black people who did the first brain transplant, heart transplant, all kinds of stuff before they came along. But now where you hear the first black man to do this, or black woman to do that, more than likely they've been compromised and they're working with the enemy. You see, that's just the way I feel about it. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this story right here. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts, views, and opinions on it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. People, please remember to live your life as though we are being watched, simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.